That would be clearly be a negative, and that's not priced into the market right now, especially if you look at some of the automakers, both domestically and internationally. So you're a car guy, so you know this better than anybody here. I think that there's a very complex supply chain for autos. A lot of international foreign car makers produce autos, manufacture autos in the United States and export them. So this really gets messy, and this really, hits the Eurozone in the jugular. I think they're very motivated to get something done. I just don't think Juncker's here to say, okay, no tariffs on anything, but I think he can introduce the process. He can say, okay, here's how we negotiate this and get to a better place. And that would be a step in the right direction, because it appears right now there is no negotiation going on. I think we heard Kudlow talk about this last week. We're not at the negotiation table with China, and that's where we need to get. My guess is this plays out until at or around the election time, and then perhaps we'll start to get some more good news. And I think that's the way this is being choreographed.
Is trade and the possibility of an increase in trade tension the biggest risk? Or is it interest rates? Or is it something else, Art? And I'm saying a risk to the equity market.
Yeah, risk to the equity markets clearly right now is trade. That's number one, and it's number one by a long shot. I think to a certain extent we start to get concerned about what the offshoot of trade will be, what it does to the dollar. And when you hear companies reporting, they're talking about the strong dollar and how that's affected their sales, especially some of the multinationals that do more than 50% of their sales overseas. I think this, secondarily and related to monetary policy is the shape of the yield curve. So I think that when we think about that, we have more control over that. There are things that we can do to steepen that curve. We can have a Fed that slows down a little bit and perhaps only goes 3 times this year. We can have a Treasury that issues more new debt at the longer end, or the belly end of the curve, the 5s and the 10s versus the front end of the curve, which they've really been focused on. We can have a Fed that, in quantitative tightening, lets more of the long end roll off. So we can see things happen to broaden that shape of the curve. But right now, I would tell you, trade globally and certainly domestically is the number one concern. Yeah. And we've heard about that the most in conference calls during the earnings reporting season, more than anything else.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.